right, so we're doing homework alternatives for our assessment infographic, and down below it says, when assessment is used formatively to inform instruction, it becomes one of the most powerful tools for improving student learning, and that's by Hattie 142.
Over the years, we've been more focused to do assessments rather than tests. That's because it allows us to better assess the students and better get a grasp of what they're learning and what they are truly understanding, and how we can better educate them to grasp everything correctly and effectively.
And now we're just going to basically go over what an assessment is. And we've got formative and summative, and it says assessment is the systematic process of gathering, analyzing, and interpret information to measure student skills, knowledge, skills, and abilities. And it just says that it helps the teacher generate further instruction so they know what they need to do.
Formative are more of the ongoing ones that you're going to see throughout the lesson, like an exit ticket or homework assignments, rather than some summative assessments rather going to be the final assessment to really test everything the student has learned and gained over this time. This is our table of contents. We're going to go over 6 main points. 1 being the Common Core standards, the important features, how it's used, tools to record evaluation, 5 assessment in mathematics, and strengths and weaknesses of this.
All right, so these are our 4 of the 8 Common Core standards. So the first one, we've got make sense of problems and persevere in solving them. We've got the second one, which is reason abstractly and quantitatively. And then 5, use appropriate tools strategically. And 6, attend to precision.
Now moving on to important features. What features? So we kind of went off of Prodigy. We kind of liked what their website provided us, and basically it broke us down into 2 different features of online homework assignments, and how that can be gamification and game-based learning. So basically, summative assessments would more be gamification, because it's by adding game elements to a non-game scenario. It's more like the final checkpoint rather than assessment's not a game. It's just like helping them go test what they're learning, rather than game-based learning is that you're using the assessment, the game, to further their learning.
All right, now we're going to go into how it's used. So how it's used. Online game-based learning can be assessed by a student and a teacher. The teacher can also limit what the student is doing and what questions they're asking, and the student can also decorate characters and whatnot. And one good thing about this is that teachers can also see what level that student is on and what answers and questions they've got wrong and right. And then it also shows that if the student is just playing the game and not really answering any questions, it'll also show that. And then it also is easy to control from a teacher and a student standpoint.
4 tools used to record evaluation. So tools, the teachers can use checklists. You can use checklists to track students' progress on projects or other activities. Teachers can also assign student tasks when using online games to complete. They can also track the grades in completing of tasks. Rubrics provide detailed criteria for different levels of performance. It allows the student to better assess the quality of the student's work and provide clear expectations. Score sheets can help be used to record students' completion on various tasks. Also, it allows us to see how they're doing and if things need to be taught differently and better assigned and redone in order for the students to do better.
And now assessment in mathematics. So time to complete, the time to complete these alternative assessment varies depending on the gamification method of the game-based learning it is being used. So something for Prodigy, it really doesn't have a certain amount of time. It's just something you set for those students in order to, if you're grading papers, you can have them get on Prodigy. So it all really just depends on what you want to do as a teacher.
Gamification is going to be more of a real pace of a lesson being taught. Rather, game-based learning is going to be more of building on that lesson that you may talk about. Maybe something you might wrap up at the end of a lesson after you taught it, just to recap on everything you might have just taught. Thought process, the alterations encourage high-order thinking skills. Projects require analysis, synthesis, and creativity. Educational video and games, storytelling, and activities engage students in critical thinking and problem solving. By using online games, also also allows the teacher to see what the students are missing, and it provides them with helpful hints to find the correct answers. As we know, teachers cannot answer to all students like students would like us to, so it's great to use online games because they have those resources right in front of us. Research has also shown that 93% of class time was spent on tasks while using game-based learning compared to 72% without. So as you can tell, it's actually helping the students stay on task by using the technology and the games-based learning.
And then for precision is advanced. Precision is achieved through clear guidelines and expectations. For example, games come with specific criteria and timelines, ensuring that students understand what the expectation is, which is why we have a on-target mark with a dart.
First feature, game-based learning can help problem solve and encourage critical thinking. It can also increase students' engagement and motivation, introduce situational learning, and address special needs students.
The second feature is formative assessment, which is the example is a teacher might use educational video games to reinforce mathematical concepts and monitor students' progress. For example, a teacher can assign Prodigy Math to students, which I used also in another slide above. And this will help the students grow in their understanding and progress of learning a new concept, all while playing a new game, trying to win magic battles.
Features summative assessments at the end of a unit. The teacher can assign a game to collect the student's final knowledge of the concept of unit. An example of this is Math Mania game. Strengths and weaknesses.
So first we have formative, which provides immediate feedback to students and teachers, helps identify areas where students need additional support, and encourages a growth mindset and continued improvement. Overall,
it is sensitive to the students. They provide the perfect amount of instruction. It has easy access for the students and the teachers. Students we have had love the games.
Summative evaluates students' overall understanding of the mastery of the material, provide a clear measure of students' performance for grading purposes, and can motivate students to study and review material.
Weaknesses, formative assessments can be time-consuming for teachers to create and grade. May not be taken as seriously by students compared to summative assessments. Overall, too much screen time can also occur from these. Games can be source of distraction. Technology learning curve does not replace overall traditional learning strategies.
And then for summative, we can create stress and anxiety for students. It may not always accurately reflect students' true understanding and abilities, and does not provide immediate feedback or improvement.
And so basically that is our last slide. And so there's our slideshow of why we think that you should encourage game-based learning into your curriculum.
Be fun.